In this video, I'm going to demonstrate a pretty simple concept. What is a mutual fund using these kids blocks? Let's get started. All right, I am sitting here playing with my kids' toys and wanted to make a video to help you understand what a mutual fund is. This is Minnie, and Minnie has some cash. Look at all this green right here. She is thinking about investing some of this money, but she doesn't really know where to start. So let's imagine that each of these little blue boxes here represent a specific company in which she could invest. Now, she could take her well-earned money and lots of it and buy what's called a stock, right? And let's imagine this is Walmart, and she wants to invest all of her money, buy some stock into Walmart. What do you think? Is this a financially good idea or not? Well, imagine Walmart goes bust, bankrupt. It's no longer, and she loses all of her money with it. Was it a good idea to put her money, all of it, into one company? Probably not. So that's where the concept of a mutual fund comes in. We're going to take all 15 of these companies and we're going to group them and stack them together. Let's do that right now. 15. How much is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. Let's make that a little more evenly distributed here. All right. This now is a mutual fund. She is going to take some of her hard-earned cash and she's going to throw it or invest in all 15 of these companies. So if this was $100 and she bought a share of the mutual fund, that would be distributed or divided evenly amongst all of the companies that are within that mutual fund. So mutual funds are pretty nice because it helps you to minimize your risk. And they're sold in these nice, neat little packages. Now, some mutual funds will have, let's imagine this is a bond. Governments or corporations issue these bonds to raise money. And these are also things that she could invest in. So what happens that you'll see sometimes a mutual fund is made up of, 90% stocks or 10% bonds, or sometimes it is represented much more. There's a lot more bonds within the mutual fund. Bonds are traditionally safer than individual stocks, so people sometimes will decide to invest in a mutual fund that is made up of more bonds than stocks. Something like that for the mutual fund. So when she invests her money, and then over the long term, she invests lots of her money, it is distributed equally with some stocks that may help with growth and some bonds that may help preserve the money that she has invested. Oh, and some companies will opt to take or keep part of the fund in cash. So you'll have stocks, bonds, and a little bit of cash. And that together will keep your money sound, safe, and secure with the opportunity to grow as much as possible. And this is called allocation. You may have heard that word. So the allocation of stocks versus bonds versus cash. And together, 100% is the allocation, right? So it could be like 60% stocks and 35% bonds and 5% cash or something similar. Now, younger people generally have allocations that are much more stock heavy because stocks have more opportunities to grow. In fact, if you're 18 or 20 or something like that, you might want all stocks or perhaps maybe a little bit of bonds, something like that, so that over time, your money can grow the most. But if you're a little older, like me, you might want to think about an allocation that has more bonds and maybe a little bit of cash as well, so that you can preserve more of your income in the case that the market declines, but still some opportunity for your money to grow. So when I see a mutual fund, I see a block something like this. Lots, sometimes hundreds of companies, individual companies, and perhaps some bonds mixed up with it. And over time, that money should grow, grow, grow. Grow, 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 right? And Minnie is pretty happy at this. And let's take this a step further. Imagine she wants to put $100 into this mutual fund right here. However, she's dealing with a broker who is kind of a nasty person. And what he's going to do, and she doesn't really know, he's going to take quite a bit of money from her right off the bat. So let's say this is $100 and she wants to invest it. He's going to say, yeah, no problem. Let me just take a little bit here. Before you even invest that, I'm just going to go ahead and take 5% right off the top. That's a load mutual fund. A mutual fund that has a load. He's going to go spend that money on his really nice car. And so to start, she's automatically lost $5 of her $100. That's a 5% loss right off the bat because she chose to invest her money with this bad dude right here. So load mutual funds are no good. They can also be a load on the other end. So for example, when she goes to invest her $100, this guy says, yeah, no problem. Go ahead and throw your $100 into my mutual fund. Great. And he's going to come back here and he's going to wait patiently, because when Minnie goes to sell, and maybe it's made some money by then, great, he's going to automatically take 5% of that on the other end when she goes to sell this money. So he automatically gets 5% on the other end. What do you think about that? So load mutual funds are typically no good because right off the bat, you have a significant portion of your money that is paid to somebody, and paying money for the service they provide is generally not a bad thing, but 5% is incredibly expensive and, in my opinion, a huge ripoff. So Minnie is going to be a little smarter, and she's going to choose to go with somebody like this, a reputable broker, a company that thrives on what's called no load mutual funds. And how this works is she has $100 and she's going to invest all of it, and all of the $100 that she invests is going to be invested when she buys and when it's time to sell. This guy over here gets no percentage of it. However, this guy needs to make a living, right? And we want the best of the best to be hired to manage this fund. So we do have to pay this person well. And so an expense ratio fee is what this person is typically awarded. And because this company and this broker is so awesome, they are only charging something ridiculous like 0.03% or 0.08% or maybe 0.13% if it's a fancy international, if this is made up of companies that are maybe abroad. So it really depends. So this guy will get some of the money, of course, but only a little bit, a portion, so that Minnie over time gets to keep more of her green. This fund can grow her cash sky high, baby. And this guy will get a little bit in the end, right? Or during the 20 years or so that this is sitting making money. But it's not going to all go to this guy over here, if that makes sense. So companies like Fidelity, Vanguard, and there's lots more out there. But individual brokers, I'm not going to name names, but definitely something to research when you decide which company to invest your hard-earned money with, and you choose a mutual fund to invest in. Is it a load mutual fund? No load mutual fund? Got to go no load all the way. All right, hopefully this video has helped you out. Keep in mind, I am not a financial advisor whatsoever, so take all this with a grain of salt, but I am a DIYer who believes strongly in investing and saving money along the way, finding the highest quality mutual funds at the lowest affordable price by reputable companies. So I wanted to share my opinion with you.